my name is Armand Voltaire Cating, co-curator of this beautiful exhibit. And in this section, first we have a ligaw, or a winnowing tray. Now typically this round shape is from the bontok, and they use it for winnowing rice. Then beside it we have two apos, or multi-purpose storage containers. The larger size would have been used for their clothing and other possessions, while the smaller size would have been used for their food. And this is the precursor of Tupperware. The Cordilleras would put cooked rice, cooked fish or meat, and bring it out to the fields with them. It would have been an original lunchbox. Right beside them, we have a selection of fish traps. Now, out in the mountains, the fish they were after are very, very small. So the fish traps were only this size. They would be put in the feeder streams of the rice terraces with the water going down this way and baited with a little bit of rice or some leaves, and the little fish thereafter would fly inside, flow inside, and get stuck. So now you would have about dozens of these. The little kids would bring maybe 5 or 6 each all the way to school, leave them in the fields, in the rice terraces, and on the way home, pick them up and have dinner. Now here on this wall, we have gone grass raincoats. As you can imagine, back then, there were no other fibers or materials available for them to protect them from the elements. So they would use cogon grass. Move on to this side. On this wall, we have another set of fish traps, or gugu, and these very unique implements are called chiay. They're snares or traps for wild birds. Now we have one here on the ground, but essentially they'd be in a V formation or in a square formation, and the hoops would capture the birds as they ran down the trail. Now, once they're caught in the snare, they can't back up. So the birds, this wall is a selection of fully cooked PET containers, and that'll be the cooked rice used as a snack, and they have a very distinct shape. So they put them inside as the rice, and they pour them out to their stomachs. On this side, we have 2 samples of kayaba. One very large, obviously, and one a smaller one. They're the burden baskets of the Cordilleras, usually with vegetables or kamote. This is how they would transfer vegetables from the fields to their homes or to the market. Over here we have 3 specimens of locust baskets. There was a time when locusts were pervasive out in the Cordilleras, and they would use them as a source of food. And they had a specific type of basket for them to be stored. As you notice, there are slants in between, so you would breathe, and apparently the locusts were more delicious when they were fresh. On this side we have a gawin, or basket for snails and mussels out in the field, and 2 fangao specimens. Now this particular specimen is from bontok, and as you can tell, the waterproofing does not extend over the top of the shoulders. They were designed specifically to be worn underneath the raincoat. While the specimen over here is a smaller size for a child. So in this section we have oklop. Now these are wooden helmets worn by the ifugao for protection, and they also served as a bowl. Over here we have 3 pasiking. The top one is the coil construction, or binali, and it's contemporary. The second one is from ulo. It has a trapezoid shape, specific to that region. And then we have an open pasiking, or a sangi of the bontok. Again, these 3 are rather small, so they would be for children. We have another oklop over here. And we have a selection of hooping for men's handbags. Now they're specifically worn by the males. And we have samples in wood and in basket. In this corner, we have a life-size specimen of a tinagtago, again from the bontok. And these are household guardians. The original purpose for them were to be watching the children. in households when nobody was home. This fellow is distinguished by a mask. This part is removable. It's life size. Over here we have a charm or a door knocker with 3 faces. And that's for good luck. Again, to watch the household. And a barn door, usually used for their granaries. In this section, we have a takna. Now this specimen is from Ponto, a household architectural piece, literally to hold up the walls. On the top, we have a harsha, again from the Ifugao. And there's their house support beams to keep their homes square. And the stylized animals underneath were used as hooks to hang their possessions. At the bottom here, we have a desiccated specimen of the hardjack. This specimen here is a takna from the Ibeloy tribe, and this is a house support beam at the top. At the top of their homes, there are 2 posts, and they're called queen posts because, well, there are a pair of them. If there are a single post, they would be called a king post. But this specimen is a queen post or takna of the Ibeloy, with a stylized snake. This fellow over here is a kinabigat, or king post. Again, a major support beam in a Ifugao home. That's a beautiful piece. In this tableau, we have a set of tattoo needles, both of them from the Kalinga, both distinguished by human form. One of them is holding a bowl, the other one has a human face. Again, if you see closely, there are multiple needles typical from that area. Here we have a selection of tools. On the left we have a set of rice cutters used for harvesting the rice stalks in the fields. The rice stalks would be standing this way. The knife would be held in the right hand and grabbed in that motion, pulling it across the blade. Beside it we have a set of weaving tools used to push the rattan through the basket in carpenter's line tool. And here on the right, we have a set of ignition devices indigenous to the Philippines. They're called fire pistons or sagpakan. On the backpacks in the northern Philippines, there are 2 that have ritual use. One of them is the takwa, the bontok. As you can tell, we have some fiber, uno. This specimen has 2 faces on either side of those posts. Now these were representations of their ancestors and the repositories of the sacred artifacts. We have over here, we have a sample of the artifacts used in the Dante and Begmas rituals. We have a spoon, we have a cup, we have some feathers from previous rituals, and the bones also from previous rituals. This specimen is a bangao or bangeo of the Ifugao. This is bangi or a meat fiber arrayed in a shingle pattern and specifically designed to repel the rain. What we have here is a primitive example of rainproofing. This is another raincoat, again of the Ifugao, and this specimen is an Ibnabnutan. Of the 2 ritual backpacks in the northern Philippines, the Ifugao Ibnabnutan is again an ancestor figure and used in various healing and burial rituals. A series of 4 load carriers, and this is how they would transport their goods out in the mountains. The rocks and a case of beer. But here we have a series of 4 load carriers. In this section we have a beautiful selection of rice guardians or bulul, traditionally carved as pairs, 1 male and 1 female. They had specific purpose to guard the rice in the granaries after harvest.
Saka imagine nga tok pagbibali say guru ang takot ito, ang takot alima ngibot sana sa respeto lang siya ko say balikan naman ni kaya ang giro man ko katan say yung mga ito. Ay makipibot. At sa nila, so iyay iman to, iyay ulag. Katoy, mga iwan ni sa ulag, ni ulog. Katoy, mantakot, tsaka takot niya si Irman o mga tuklok o ano, balik-balik, kita sigsagap. Isang sima, kadat may kayugutan, ang ito balik-balik eh, basta po isulbok ta ang simaan, umibig. Basta na si tukul man, ang si nagsaka kayo kung balik na nakita ng daw, makipibot, agli tutubot. Ang kaya siya kali, pagi naman kahit po siya tuk-tuk kami lumakan sino man na iyan na